going on, everybody? This is Cannabis Guru, and I'm back with a quick update. So, I don't remember on my last video if my plants were drooping or not. I can't remember, but they've been drooping. They haven't been wilted or anything like that, but they've been drooping, right? And I was wondering why this plant was a little lighter than this plant. And then, you know, this plant's got some pink stems in it. This plant has got some pink stems in it as well. And she's, I don't know, dude, but I don't know why this one's lighter, but you can see it's blotchy on these top leaves. Okay, this one's nitrogen toxicity, and I'm pretty sure this one is as well. It's just at the beginning stages. So they're drooping. The temperature in the cocoa is 70.8 degrees. And that's because I flushed them. Because they're doing this, I figured I'd go ahead and flush them. When I did the flush, I tested the ppms of the runoff, and it was like at 1690 ppms. So it's way too high. So that's why they're drooping the way that they are. They've been overfed. So I flushed them. I'm not going to feed them again for, I don't know, maybe a week. I'll keep an eye on them. And then once they start praying, then I know they snapped out of it. Excuse me. Goodness. And then I know that I'll be in the clear. This plant's starting to come around. It's got some nitrogen toxicity too. I fed it as well. But she needs to be transplanted here pretty quick. I'm waiting for the roots. I wait for the plant to get just about root bound, and then I transplant it. And I don't mess with the root ball or anything like that. I just freaking stick this in the pot that I'm transplanting into, and it gives me a square hole, and I take it out and I set it right in there after I put mycos and azos in the hole, and that's it. And then I backfill. That way I don't disturb the root zone and cause stress to the plant. So, but yeah, this one's a shorty. The node spacing is pretty tight. She's been stunted, so we're gonna see, because I overwatered her. We're gonna see how she does. This plant may be the one that goes outside. I don't know. You know, I kind of want to flower these out. But I'm not sure. I need one for outside for this summer. But I don't need a 12-foot tall plant either. So, but we'll see. I may take one of these big ones and put it outside, flower this one out. But I need a plant to make clones too. So these got to get big enough for me to take clones. I need to take like 8 clones for my indoor run. For my big indoor run. Like I said, this is just the start. And I'm thinking about setting up the flood and drain table and getting that up and running. That way I can not have to use the heat mat and keep the temperature up in the root ball. And then maybe I'll have to use the mat under, oh, you can't see it, under the res. But I ordered a fish tank heater for the res, because this heat mat doesn't really get warm enough to, it takes forever to heat up the reservoir. So the fish tank heater should do good. These plants stretched out in the beginning. I didn't have enough light intensity, so they stretched out, and they were slow to develop because the root was the roots were too cold. So that's why I ended up having to get this. I would have used it sooner, but my other one broke, so I had to buy a new one. But yeah, things are doing good, man. Like I said, 70.7 degrees. The plants are growing much faster. But right now, like I said, they're droopy because they got nitrogen toxicity. And I flushed them really good today. So that should snap them out of it. I used CYCO's cleanse as for a solvent, and pH water, and flushed it out really good. So I didn't flush this little one out because I'm waiting for it to dry out. I've overwatered it before, and I don't want to overwater it again. These ones are in cocoa, so they're draining much. It's in a 50-50 mix, so it's draining pretty good. So I don't, and the dirt that it was in, the Fox Farm Ocean Forest that it was in for the little tiny pot is all rooted out. So I don't have to worry about overwatering these. You know, cocoa likes to stay, you know, moist. It doesn't really like to dry out all the way. So it's whatever. When I do the flood and drain table, it stays wet all the time, you know. I set it to where it floods about every 15 minutes. So it does it about, shit, what is it, 4 or 5 times an hour. And it works just fine. Last time I used black pots with the air holes in the bottom, or whatever, the cutouts in the bottom. And I would get a lot of roots, you know what I mean? But this time I'm using fabric pots. I think it'll work better. And I'm sure the roots will try and come through the fabric pots. But I got to get the legs taken care of. Get them down to 18 inches. And then it will be high enough to cover the reservoir, but not too low to interfere. And that'll give me more room in between the table and the light for the plants. Because once they start to flower, it's going to be bigger. And this light right here at full blast flower, full spectrum at 100% power, it will bleach your buds. The PPFD is that high. I've bleached my buds before. So you definitely want to keep at full power. Try and keep this plant, at the very least, I want to say, shit, dude, you really want to keep it at the very least like 24 inches. But I would try and keep it like, you know, 36 inches away from your flowers, from your flowering plants. Just to avoid bleaching, you know what I mean? You can probably try it at 24 inches. You know, you might be able to get away with it. But if they start to bleach, you need to move it up to 36. And you'll get good light penetration through the plant. You know, this light will penetrate through a 2-foot canopy pretty easily, which is really nice. The nugget size that these lights produce, and the stickiness, and, you know, the smell, all that shit, dude, it produces quality nuggets. What I do need to do is get some UV supplemental bars and hang them up in here, you know, one on either side. I don't need to get IR ones because this light has plenty of IR diodes in it and a lot of far red and all that shit, a few different types of red. But it only has 4 UV diodes, and it's just not enough. They should have did like 8. And I don't even know if that would be enough or not. But I'm going to run 2 UV light bars in here, and that should help with trichome production. This already get good resin production and good trichome production as it is with these lights, but hopefully I'll get even better with the UV. But yeah, anyways, man, it's been a little over 8 minutes. That's enough. So comment if you got any questions or comments. Go ahead and post them. Excuse me. Like the video, smash the bell and subscribe. This is Cannabis Guru. Until next time, peace.